Hello folks, hope you're doing well today. It's nearly 9:15 on the 13th of the 4th, 2020. This video will be about James. James being my son, a little blue-eyed baby boy. I haven't seen him since he was, I think, 2 or 3. 2 years old, I think it was. Nearly 3 years old, yeah. So, yeah. So, I thought I'd do a video about that situation. I mentioned it the other day, and so I figured I should probably do something about that. Just a quick video, I think. Well, yeah, so James was born in 1994. I think it was the 4th of January, and around about 5 p.m. It was a long time ago now. Yeah, he would be 26 now, and as I say, I haven't seen him since he was 2 years old. It's one of those situations of, again, I was telling you recently about the relationships we get into that we shouldn't, because they're not the ones that God has for us, and that those sort of relationships are always going to be bad because you're always butting against each other because you're not meant for each other. So yes, at that point I was, I think, about 25. Yeah, about 25 years old. I was going to a nightclub at that time because I liked to boogie when I was younger. Bit of boogie woogie. I enjoyed that. That was all good fun. And yeah, had some fun there. There was a few of us who went there who could actually dance, and we would go to different nightclubs, not just that one. But yeah, so I was doing a college course at the time. I've spoken before about my family and stuff like that, and I've gone through childhood in care in children's homes, boarding schools, bad foster parents, all that sort of rubbish. Never really got an education. Got a bit of an education at the place I was in Wiltshire, the Cotswold community, when that was an interesting place. Certainly got education in woodcraft, pottery, even weaving. I had a bit of an education in that. But traditional education, nope, we didn't get really any of that at all. We got the basics, but that really was incredibly basic. And so I left school really with no education at all. No qualifications, definitely. So here I was in 92. It was. I was at college doing A-levels, or the equivalent to A-levels. And so I did sociology and English language, and I did GCSE maths as well. At the end of the year, I was going to go to America to work as in one of these holiday camps. Well, I figured it was something that I could do. It was a Jewish camp in North Carolina, and that was interesting, to say the least. Well, I'll speak a bit about that in this one as well. Might as well. It's all part of the same story. So yeah, around about that time, when it was probably around May sort of time, I was going to this nightclub, and this lady was coming around selling something for charity. It was chocolate penises. At which point I said to her, I do not want to eat one of those, however, I'll give you the money for the charity. Just give me a dance later. Now, at that point in time, I was not a Christian. I didn't become a Christian for another few years. Didn't really have any indication that I would ever become a Christian at that point in time. I was as much in sin as anybody. And so, yeah, part of the idea with going out to nightclubs is that you could meet someone. And if you met someone, then really the idea would be sex. Possibly a relationship, but a relationship built firmly on sex, not on, openness and trust and um, respect and communication and all the things a relationship needs to be built upon. There was none of that at all. I was 25, going on 18, really. So yeah. So anyway, it came to a dance. We talked a bit. She was married, but apparently unhappily married. When I found out she was married, I said, okay, I can't get up to anything with you. At that point, that's the thing I was saying. I can't do anything with you because of the fact that you're married. And even a few weeks later, the DJ offered me a room that I could take this lady to have sex with her because I was going to America and I'd be leaving her for a few months. And I said no. I said no, she's still a married woman, so I can't do that. It would just be wrong. I'm not going to be any part of her marriage not working. Well, so that was it. I went over to America. We sort of had said that maybe when I get back, we would possibly get together. That was something we're looking to. So I had the phone number of the nightclub, and on the Friday when I was in America, I phoned up to speak to her. So I spoke to her, and she was okay. That was probably an unwise move. Anyway, I went over in this camp. Oh, jeez, it was one of these places, and I've got to say, the kids there, some of them were a complete flipping nightmare. They were nasty. They were the sort that if you didn't do what they wanted, they would then say, oh, if you don't do what we want, you don't give us what we want, we'll accuse you of trying to touch us up. I mean, that nasty. These were Jewish kids. It was a Jewish camp. So it was kosher. But yeah, really bad. Apart from the weather, North Carolina, it was quite dodgy. Certainly the first week, it was raining. We couldn't really do anything. So yeah, it was what it was. And I left there early, at camp early. I don't know why. I don't know why I did, but I did. I went to New York for a while. And then got back home. And when I got back home, my best friend at the time told me that his phone's been exploding by this woman being upset that she's in love with me and all this. And he says I should go and see her. And I said, well, I've only just got back. So I'm absolutely knackered and jet lagged. So I don't really want to be dealing with that stuff right now. Well, she passed him on her new address and phone number because she had left her husband by this point. So, okay, I go and see her. That's it, I go and see her. And things happened quite quickly. We sort of got together. But there was no love there at all. It was a rather difficult situation, to say the least. And it all came to a head on one occasion when she was in the bath. And she was saying something to me. I have no idea what she was saying. But all of a sudden, she threw something at me, and it hit me right in the head. She got something else to throw at me, and I just snapped. Next thing I knew, I'd lifted her out of the bath by her hair. Just one-handed, grabbed her over her hair, lifted her out of the bath. And it's all crap. Okay, sorry about that. No idea what just happened. I snapped. And after that moment, she then became more and more aggressive, trying to pick fights. We'd go out of a night sometimes to the same nightclub or a different one. And on the way home, she would start hitting me, punching me in the back of the head, trying to get me to fight her, and I didn't, because obviously I knew that I'd already snapped once, and that wasn't good. That sort of started this aggression, so I don't want to make it any worse. And that was okay for a while, and then we had an argument one night, and she was getting incredibly violent. So I think I smacked her around the face to get her to calm down. Partly that, and partly because she'd been hitting me a lot. I suppose there would have been a bit of harder smack than what there should have been. Anyway, that was it. Next morning, she came down, two black eyes. Oh, I'm going to tell people you hit me. I'm going to tell people you punched me in the face. I said, no, I didn't. You were crying all night. That's why you got black eyes. You were crying so hard, you've actually bruised your eyes, you donut. Well, part of the thing that was mentioned that night is that she was pregnant. She found out she was pregnant. She then told me it wasn't mine. Yeah, no, excuse me. Have you had the opportunity to be with someone else? Well, she hadn't. So anyway, we split up. She then got an injunction against me. I'm like, okay. I moved somewhere else. She knew where. But how she knew where, I don't know. Probably because of the injunction, because I probably had to give my address when I replied to it. So she knew where I lived, and within a few months, she came round to speak to me. And I'm like, excuse me, you've just broken the injunction. Now, I'm not supposed to be within a certain distance of you because you claimed I did things I didn't. Now you're here. That's not good, is it? Anyway, I went for a walk around. We had a chat. That was basically it. Then a few more times she came round. We had a chat. She was getting more and more pregnant. She told me, yes, it was actually my child. It wasn't anyone else's. So we sort of got back together again. Well, we did. Yeah, we got back together again. And then, yeah, she got to the point of its due date. And, I took her up to the hospital. James was born. And she lied. She was supposed to give him my name, but she didn't. So she gave him the name James Michael Vincent Pollard. Pollard was her married name. Excuse me. You've given him your ex-husband's surname? Okay. That's not good, is it? But yeah, the relationship kept on going from bad to worse, 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 bad to worse. And all that, it just kept on going in that general direction. So yeah, I then moved into a different place. Moved out from hers into a different place after James was born. It wasn't much long afterwards. He was probably a few months old. And so, yeah. Actually, I don't even think it was that much. I think he was only a few weeks old. And then I had a knock at the door. I'd actually gone out and met someone else. Not really intentionally to try and meet someone else. I think I met someone else at the nightclub. And we exchanged numbers, and I contacted her. I went over to see her. She was certainly someone that I would never get involved with because her family were, this other girl, her family were really dodgy. I could see, oh, this is trouble. This isn't a good situation here at all. So she knocked on the window when I was with this other girl. So I then went up to the front door and said to her, look, I can't speak to you now. I'm busy. I'll speak to you later. I'll come round and knock at your door and have a chat later. So, I took this other girl home. Then around about 11 o'clock at night, knock on the door again. It was her, James's mum. So she had James in the pushchair. I don't know where she had 3 other children from her marriage. I don't know where they were at the time. I can't remember. But that was that situation. We walked around. She was smoking. Now, she never smoked. I smoked, but she didn't. So it's like, well, that's weird. Why on earth has she got cigarettes? She never smokes. So, okay. She's obviously trying to tell me she's stressed. Or maybe she is that stressed that she thought cigarettes would be the answer, which clearly is not. As someone who smoked, I can tell you that now. But yeah, she asked me to marry her. I said I'd think about it. So I let her know in the morning. So I took her home. Then I went home to my place. Then we got together again for a little while. And all in all, we would have broke up and got back together again at least 7 times. But yeah. Then when we were back together, when James was around, he was only a little tot. At the time, we had an argument. Then she put a knife to my chest and said, "Go on, impale yourself, you bastard." I'm like, excuse me? I'm not going to impale myself. So if you want to stab me, but I'm not going to impale myself. I'm not going to make it easier for you. And if I do, even if I do, you've got hold of a knife. The police come, they're not going to believe that I impaled myself. So put the flipping knife down. Right? So I went out or whatever, and that situation was done. But then we had another situation where she would be, and all this time she's been aggressive. All the time. She'd be aggressive over nothing. And there was this day when she started shoving me when we were upstairs. So I said, right, enough's enough. Pack it up. Stop shoving me. She kept on shoving me. So I grabbed her, put her up against the wall, and I said, right, if you really want to go for it, we'll go for it now. Okay? Yeah, you want to keep shoving me, keep pushing me? You want to go for it? We do it now. She says, oh no, I'm sorry. So we go downstairs. As soon as we're downstairs, she starts shoving me again. Next second, I wake up with my hands around her throat. I'd snapped. Again. So, around this time, I was still at that place I was renting that she'd come over. And I went back there. And I was asleep there one night and I woke up. And I heard an audible voice telling me to sneak out my window. To go around the back of her house to make a bit of noise so she comes out. Then to kill her and then quietly climb back through my window. That was the only way I was going to see my child again. And I knew where the voice was coming from. I knew it was the devil. Because, God's not going to tell me to kill her. It's not going to be in my mind to go and kill somebody. So it was the devil trying to get me to kill her. So I knew if that relationship continued, one of us would end up killing the other one. There was no doubt about it. It really was that bad a relationship. So I had to leave. So I applied to university. Even though really I had no interest, particularly in doing any courses, because having not really been through education in my childhood and stuff like that, I wasn't that good at education. Yes, I'd done the equivalent of A levels, I can't remember what it was that I did. It was something that basically got you up to the level of A level. I'd done that. I quite enjoyed it. It wasn't easy. But it was a time when, I was around 25-ish. I had a bit younger, 23, I guess I was. About 23 at the time. So, But I didn't have anything really in my life that would make it difficult to study. But of course, going to do a proper degree in similar subjects, the workload would be increasing massively. I've been moving to a city that I don't really know, that I don't really have friends in. All in all, not a great situation, not something I'd really want to go to, but I knew if I stayed in that town where she and James were, it would be horrendous. It could end up with one of us killing the other. And I figured that wouldn't be a good thing for James, because one of his parents would be dead, the other one in prison. Not good. For the other children, they'd at least have a parent. And their father would still be in the picture, but James would lose both his parents. So I knew that I had to get away. Well, as I say, she phoned up within a week of me being there. I think I'd phoned her, left her the phone number. The place where I was, she phoned up, a lady answered, who was in the shared house, and that was it. We never spoke again. But while I was living in the other place, James came over to me on a regular basis. And he was a fantastic kid. Really was a fantastic little boy. Smiling all the time. If he fell over and hurt himself, he would just get up, brush himself off and get on with it. He was a great kid. Really good kid. As soon as you said no, he'd take notice. He would stop doing that because you said no, that was it. And I heard later on that she had sport him rotten to the point where they were in McDonald's on one occasion, and he was throwing a fit because she couldn't get his food quick enough. And she was running back, apologising to him, saying, I'm getting it, don't worry, calm down. Jeez, if that was me, I would have got his food, I would have put it straight in the bin. I'd have emptied his food in the bin. I said, there's your food. Anytime you behave like that, that's what happens. If somebody go out for anything else to eat like that, you're not getting any at all. You get no treats for next week at all. Whereas, that's it. I don't know any more about the situation because it was only a friend of hers, or an ex-friend of hers, that told me that story. I didn't see him after that. I tried to make arrangements. I tried to make things possible. I tried to make things easy, do it for a church, and she denied. And I was trying to take action against her early on, but I realised that my solicitor told me about the situation because she had other children. The judge wouldn't do anything about it because the only option the judge has got really is to put the person in prison overnight, for 48 hours or something for disobeying the court. But they're unlikely to do that with someone with other children. So therefore, she knew that. She knew that she could just flaunt the judge's decision. And what the judge should have done was to say, okay, you're not willing to do that, so your son then goes over to his dad. His dad now has custody. That's what the court should do on all custody cases where the mother or the father, whichever one has custody, won't share custody when they should do, when the courts have said they have to. When they're not doing it and they keep not doing it, then reverse the custody. Simple. You've got to be thinking about what's best for the child. And in the end, I knew, with regards to James, I knew what his mum was like. I knew what he would be like, and I knew that, if I keep harassing her, then she's going to get stressed out. And who should I actually take that out on? Whenever he does anything naughty, because he is the focus of what's going on, of why I'm sort of pushing her or getting the law to push her, she's going to take it on him, and it's like, well, that's not right. Because of the fact I can keep on doing this and keep on doing this, and I know that nothing's really going to change. Because I was doing it for about 2 years, and she showed no intention of ever allowing me to see my son. And the fact that she showed no intention and the courts were showing no real intention of making her do so, then there was nothing that was going to happen, really. That was it. that was the situation. So I just had to give him to God. Ask God to take care of him. So yeah, I still have some photos of him. I mean, most of the photos I have got lost because when I was in a different area before I moved up to here, my next door neighbour stole my wallet. There was only about £10 in it, but there was a photo of my nan, who, if you listen to these, you know that she was incredibly special to me. The only photo I have of her, and there was about 4 or 5 photos of James, and he stole my wallet and obviously took the money and then binned the wallet somewhere, but then denied it, whereas there was no one else who could have done. No one else had been in my room to have done so. So there you go. And that bloke, yeah, he was a bit of a, he was a liar. He was one of these people that's pretending to need special benefits when he didn't need them. Yeah, he was a bit of a scumbag, really. But there you go. Yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, I've still got 2 photos of James, and that's it. That's all I have of him now. 26 years after he was born, and as I say, I've not seen him for about 24 years now. I mean, he is who he is. There's nothing of me really in him now. DNA, but I've had no real what's the word? No real dealings with him, so no real influence in his life. So I have no idea who he is as a person because of that. I have no idea if I will ever find out. So I asked God to take care of him, so I lean on God for that situation. Because there's nothing at all that I can do. Right, and with this situation of the coronavirus, again, I say to people, if you have issues with your mum or your dad or your brothers or sisters, where you need to get all of that right to make sure they know that you love them, do so. Don't muck around. Don't hang around with it. It's far too important. It really, really is. This coronavirus, unfortunately speaking, with the death toll that comes with this thing, I mean, so far worldwide, 88,000 cases. Sorry, that's in the United Kingdom, 88,000 cases. Worldwide? Okay, sorry, excuse me for that, oopsie. 1.9 million cases. 118,000 deaths worldwide. Now, the problem is that cities are going to be having problems trying to bury these people. I mean, look at Spain, Italy. You see 20,000 deaths. So obviously, the way they can do it is, there's been a video circulated on YouTube about in America, New York City, they are just putting bodies in brown boxes, piling the boxes on top of each other in a ditch and just burying them. And they're putting earth on top. But when they've got hundreds, even thousands of these people in just plain brown boxes, and they pile the boxes on top of each other, 5 or 6 high, in a big long ditch. And unfortunately, that may be the way that people are being buried right now. Not because of the virus, because from what we know of the virus, 12 hours after death, the virus has died as well. So therefore, if you bury someone 12 hours after they're dead, then the virus is gone. It's died, so you won't get the virus from touching the body or from being near the body. So it's not because of the virus why they're doing it. It's because of the sheer number of people that are dying. They just haven't got the time. The mortuaries just won't be able to cope with the work, with a massive workload, because you've still got people dying normally who aren't dying of the coronavirus. Especially, walking down my road here, there's a few areas where you've got little alleyways, and you can see where the parents of one lot of kids have put a ladder going up to the wall so that the kids can climb up the ladder and play around with the kids next door who are the other side of the alley. Now, the NHS has clearly said to people, don't do things like that, because the NHS doesn't need the extra work of having to take care of people while this virus is done through people's stupidity. Put your ladders away is what the doctors have been saying. Certainly don't bring ladders out for children to climb all over, because who's more likely to fall off a ladder? An adult who's been up ladders many times, or a little kid? If they fall off a ladder that's quite a lot taller than what they are, they could quite likely, break a bone, in which case they've got to be rushed to hospital. So don't do stuff like that. Be sensible, folks, and realise if you're sensible. I was saying to a friend, we've got the point. I mean, in America they got a 6-foot rule. In other places, what, a 2-meter rule, and the rule of washing your hands. Well, washing your hands is only a case if you come into contact with something, not if your hands do. You don't need to wash your hands if your hands have been in your pockets the whole time you're out. And the 2-meter rule only applies if someone is coughing. If that person isn't coughing, then the 2-meter rule does not apply. So don't worry about it overly. Keep to your 2-meter rule. When you get home, wash your hands. If you go to the shop, certainly if you're touching produce, take some hand wash with you, or some wash wipes, anything like that. Give your hands a bloody good wash after you've been in that shop. They've had a good wash, good 20-30 seconds wash. Now you can touch your face as much as you like. Right? Anything that was on there is gone. It's clean now. You touch your face as much as you flipping all right now. Because your hands are clean. So you don't need to worry. You don't need to stress about this situation. You just need to be wise. They've suggested the guidelines, and just stick to those. As I say, they are more than safe, because you keep the 2-meter rule from most people, like in America, 6 foot. Most people aren't coughing. So by keeping that distance anyway, you are more than safe. So don't worry about going out. Don't worry about going to places. As I said, if you're a Christian, then if God doesn't want that virus hurting you, it won't hurt you. If God wants you to get that, then you'll get it. Simple as that, folks. Okay? But I won't worry about it too much, because what happens, happens. What is not going to happen is not going to happen. Take care. God bless. And I will speak to you soon.